Most people ruin their lives trying to look intelligent. Not actually being intelligent, just looking like it. They correct people mid-sentence. They argue online like their dignity depends on winning. They can't admit they don't know something. They can't laugh at themselves. They can't play. Every conversation becomes a performance. Do you respect me yet? And here's the irony. That obsession doesn't make you impressive. It makes you brittle, predictable, easy to provoke. Aldous Huxley understood this kind of social tragedy. He lived in a world of sharp minds and sharper egos, people who could quote philosophy and still be ruled by insecurity. People who looked refined but were spiritually childish. Huxley's insight, hidden inside that calm, almost amused way he wrote, is simple. Sometimes the smartest move you can make is to look like a fool. Not all the time, not out of weakness, not because you lack self-respect, but because there's an art to timing. There's an art to choosing when to display your intelligence and when to conceal it. When to correct and when to let someone believe they won. When to speak and when to smile and let the moment pass. This is where most people misunderstand. They think being a fool means lowering your standards. But Huxley's point is closer to strategy. The fool at the right time is not stupid. The fool at the right time is free. Free from the prison of ego. Free from the need to prove. Free from the compulsive itch to be seen as superior. And that freedom is power. Because the world is full of people who don't want truth. They want dominance. They don't want clarity. They want to feel important. If you insist on being right in front of people like that, you'll spend your life in pointless battles, bleeding time and energy just to satisfy their insecurity. And the more you fight them, the more you feed them. Their ego grows fat on your attention. So the first question isn't, what's true? The first question is this moment worth my intelligence? Some moments deserve precision, some deserve silence, some deserve humor, some deserve the art of letting it go. This is why foolishness can be a form of wisdom. It's not lying. It's not pretending you're dumb. It's choosing your battles like a disciplined person chooses what to eat. You don't swallow everything put in front of you. You don't argue with every provocation. You don't correct every mistake like you're the universe's unpaid teacher. You learn something sharper, the ability to stay light. That's the part people miss. The greatest minds often have a playful quality, like they aren't threatened by being misunderstood. They can let a stupid comment pass without turning the room into a courtroom. They can smile at a wrong assumption without rushing to correct it. They can let someone else take the credit because they're building something bigger than applause. A fragile ego can't do that. A fragile ego must constantly defend itself. It must be seen, it must be affirmed, and when it isn't, it panics. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the art of being a fool at the right time. How to use it to protect your energy, increase your influence, and avoid the trap of becoming a smart person who is miserable, isolated, and always at war. Because the truth is, intelligence without timing becomes arrogance. And arrogance is the fastest way to lose people, lose opportunities, and lose peace. Sometimes the highest form of intelligence is knowing when not to show it. There are situations where displaying intelligence is the wrong move, not because intelligence is bad, but because the environment is hostile to it. You've seen it. You offer a thoughtful point, and someone feels threatened. They don't respond to your idea, they respond to your status. They try to dunk on you. They interrupt. They twist your words. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about truth anymore. It's about power. In those moments, the smart person often makes the dumbest move. They argue harder. They start explaining, defending, proving. They give long speeches. They bring evidence. They try to win. But you can't win a power game with truth. Truth is not the currency there. Ego is. And ego games don't end when you prove your point. They end when one person refuses to play. This is where the art begins. Sometimes you let them have it. You nod, you smile, you say, maybe. You ask a simple question. You act lighter than you feel. You don't correct. You don't compete. You don't reveal your full mind. And something strange happens. You gain position. Because you didn't react. You didn't chase respect. You didn't show hunger. People underestimate this, but social power often comes from emotional economy. How little energy you spend proving yourself. If you're constantly proving, you signal uncertainty. If you're calm and selective, you signal security. The fool at the right time uses camouflage. Huxley would recognize this as psychological maturity. You don't need the room to validate your intelligence, so you can choose the move that serves your long game. Here are 3 real-world examples. First, the workplace. Someone makes a wrong assumption in a meeting. You could correct them and embarrass them. If you do, you might win the moment, but you create an enemy. The smart move might be to let it pass, then speak privately later, or let results correct the narrative. Not because you're scared, because your goal isn't to look smart. Your goal is to build influence. Second, relationships. Your partner misreads your tone and accuses you of something unfair. The immature genius launches into a courtroom speech. Here's why you're wrong. That usually escalates the emotional storm. The wise fool chooses timing. They soften. They ask, "What made you feel that way?" They don't abandon truth, but they delay it until the other person's nervous system is calm enough to hear it. That isn't weakness. That's mastery. Third, social circles. Someone makes a shallow comment, and you could correct them with a deep, philosophical explanation. But the group isn't in that mood. If you insist, you become that guy. You may be right, but you lose connection. The strategic fool reads the room. They keep it simple. They stay warm. They save depth for the people who can handle it. This is a painful lesson for intelligent people. Not everyone wants depth. Many people want entertainment, simplicity, and comfort. If you bring a sword into a pillow fight, you won't be praised, you'll be avoided. So the art is discernment. When Huxley hints that being a fool at the right time is an art, he's pointing at a form of social intelligence that goes beyond IQ, knowing the difference between ego satisfaction and actual progress. Because ego satisfaction feels like power, but it's often weakness. It's you needing to be recognized. Progress is quieter. Progress is you choosing the move that protects your energy and builds your future. Also, when you play dumb strategically, you learn more. You let people talk. You let them reveal themselves. You let them show their motives. If you correct too quickly, you teach people to hide. If you listen longer, you see patterns. You see who is insecure, who is manipulative, who is honest, who is wise. The fool collects information. The performer spills it. That's the deeper benefit. By not rushing to prove yourself, you become harder to read, harder to bait, harder to control. You become untouchable, not because you're cold, but because you are not easily pulled into other people's games. Now we go to the real reason this is difficult. Ego. The reason you can't be a fool at the right time is not that you don't understand the strategy, it's that something in you needs the validation too much. Something in you wants to be recognized as intelligent, competent, special, and that need is like a leash. People can tug it and move you. If someone calls you ignorant, you react. If someone dismisses you, you react. If someone misunderstands you, you react. Why? Because you're not just defending truth, you're defending identity. Jung would call this the persona, the mask you want the world to praise. Huxley would likely smile and say, that persona is a trap. Because once you become addicted to being seen as smart, you become afraid of looking foolish, and that fear turns you into a rigid, tense person. You stop learning, you stop playing. You stop experimenting, you stop being human. And ironically, you become less intelligent, because intelligence requires curiosity, and curiosity requires the ability to be wrong without humiliation. So the art begins inside. You practice becoming someone who can survive looking foolish. This doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. It means you stop taking every misunderstanding as a threat. You stop treating every mistake as a public death. You stop needing to correct the record immediately. Here's a strong mental shift. Your intelligence is not on trial. Most people live like it is. They feel watched all the time. They feel like they have to be sharp, impressive, perfect. That constant vigilance creates anxiety, and anxiety creates bitterness. You become the smart person who secretly hates everyone for being shallow, while also craving their approval. That's a miserable loop. So you learn to let people underestimate you. Underestimation is not always a loss. It can be freedom. If someone underestimates you, they give you space. They stop competing. They stop tracking you. They expose their intentions. And you can move quietly. But to tolerate underestimation, you have to stop being hungry for applause. You have to detach from the ego craving that says, I need them to know who I am. This is why humor is important. Humor is the ego's medicine. When you can laugh at yourself, you become harder to manipulate. You become more fluid, more alive. The bitter person can't laugh because laughter would loosen the identity they're clinging to. They need the mask to survive. The sovereign person doesn't. Another key: you learn to speak for outcomes, not for dominance. A lot of smart talk is really dominance talk, showing superiority, winning debates, collecting respect. Outcome talk is different. It's simple, clean, focused. It asks, what gets us somewhere? In outcome talk, you don't need to show your entire brain. You show the part that serves the goal. And sometimes the goal is peace. Sometimes the goal is connection. Sometimes the goal is letting a moment pass. Sometimes the goal is learning what the other person is really about. Those goals are invisible to the ego, but obvious to a mature mind. So you practice small acts of ego fasting. Let someone else have the last word. Let a wrong statement pass if correcting it creates unnecessary conflict. Ask a question instead of delivering a lecture. Say, I don't know, without shame. Admit a mistake quickly. Laugh at yourself. Each of these acts weakens the ego's grip and strengthens your freedom. And here's what you'll notice. The calmer you become, the more people respect you. Not because you're loud, but because you're stable. People trust stability. They distrust performance. That's the paradox. The person desperate to look smart often looks insecure. The person comfortable with looking foolish at times often looks powerful. Because power is not proving, power is choosing. The final test: staying warm without becoming a clown. So, how do you actually apply this without turning into a pushover or a fake nice guy? You follow one rule: be warm, but not available for games. Being a fool at the right time is not surrender, it's selective engagement. If someone is disrespectful, you don't smile and accept it. You set a boundary, but you set it cleanly, without drama. If someone is simply ignorant, you don't punish them with superiority. You keep it light. If someone is insecure and trying to compete, you don't compete back. You let them perform. If someone is genuinely curious, you give depth. This is timing. This is art. You also learn to separate public and private. Public environments are full of status games. Private environments are where truth can land. If someone challenges you in public, sometimes the smartest move is to stay calm, give a simple response, and move on. If it matters, handle it privately. Public wins often cost long-term relationships and create enemies for no reason. And then there's the biggest test. When you choose strategic foolishness, people may try to label you. They may think you're naive, they may think you're weak. Let them. If you constantly correct their perception, you become their prisoner. If you can tolerate being misread, you stay free. That's the final level, being able to carry your intelligence without needing to display it. Because intelligence is a tool, not an identity, and a tool is only valuable when used at the right time. So here's the conclusion. In Huxley's spirit, the world is loud, competitive, and full of fragile egos. If you want peace and power in that world, you must master the art of lightness. Know when to be serious, and know when to let it go. Know when truth matters, and know when your ego is just hungry. The fool at the right time avoids unnecessary wars. The fool at the right time protects joy. The fool at the right time learns more, moves cleaner, and keeps their humanity intact. Most people can't do this because they confuse intelligence with identity. They think being smart means never looking foolish, but that's childish. Real wisdom is flexible. It can wear silence. It can wear humor. It can wear simplicity, and it can walk away from battles that don't build anything. So the next time you feel the urge to correct, to prove, to win, pause. Ask yourself, is this truth or is this ego? Is this a moment for precision or a moment for lightness? Is this a battle worth my energy or a trap disguised as a conversation? Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is smile, let the fool speak, and keep your crown on your own head, quietly.